Hello everyone. As you can see, I'm in my car. With the hail that we had last week and snowstorm, I have been having a lot of problem with my internet the last couple of days, and it's been cutting in and out, and I didn't want today doing this Facebook Live to have the problems that I've been having with Facebook Live cutting in and out and stopping and going and causing some problems with you guys. So this is going to be a pretty quick one, but I just didn't want to be stopping and starting on you guys. So today's subject is a really touchy one. We were debating if we were going to put it in or not, and I think based on a lot of the messages that I've gotten from you guys and some talks that I've had with you individually one-on-one, it's important that we talk about it. We put it in. Because of being chronic pain people, we are all put on pain pills. And with coming with pain pills, we develop a dependency. And it doesn't make us bad people. We're not bad people. We are not addicts. We're not drug addicts. We're not on the street. We're not shooting heroin. We're not snorting drugs. We're not what normal popular culture would call drug addicts, but we're viewed that way. And we carry a lot of guilt and we carry a lot of shame because we feel like we're judged to be drug addicts. And when we get put on painkillers and opiates, it doesn't take long. Studies show that it takes 7 days of being on a painkiller like Percocet or Vicodin to develop a dependency or an addiction to these painkillers. That's not long. You go to the dentist and you get a tooth pulled. They give you 7 days of Vicodin. In 7 days, you're addicted to that medication. So these doctors very quickly get us dependent on that medication. So I don't call myself addicted to my pain medication. I'm dependent on my pain medication. So one of the problems that we have is that we're really scared to go off of our medication because we know what's coming. It is scary. We dread running out of our pain medication because we know how we're going to feel without it. There's a mental block there. There's also a physical block. You know you're going to feel sick. And unless you have been on prescription painkillers before, you don't know what being sick with what we call it withdrawal symptoms or just drug sick. If you don't know what being drug sick's like, it's so hard to explain. But it's like you have the flu, but it's awful because now that those pain receptors are no longer blocked, you feel everything and it's awful. It's so bad. Like, my pain is tenfold when I'm going through withdrawals. So an example, when I found out I was pregnant with Joseph, I had been on morphine, and they said you have to go off the morphine because morphine when you're in early stages of pregnancy is the worst because it can induce miscarriage. And I have lupus, so lupus also induces miscarriage. So I have to stop the morphine right away. Well, they gave me some help with that. They put me on Vicodin, they had me on tramadol. So we were on other pain medications, and the doctors are monitoring me, so we know this. But oh my gosh, you guys, going off morphine is horrible, and it lasts for 2 weeks. I mean, this is not just some overnight, you feel like you have the flu, it lasts 24 hours and it's over. No, it's awful. And I didn't know about oils. I had no idea what was going to happen. So for 2 weeks, I was laying on the floor in tears, balled up, crying. I couldn't do anything. And it was my daughter's 16th birthday, and I remember trying to shop for her birthday, hanging onto the shopping cart, just bawling in the grocery store. I was so sick, and there was nothing I could do because I'm doing what the doctor is giving me and it's not easing it. It's not. So do I want to go through that again? No, I don't ever want to go through that again. So when they say, hey, do you want morphine? No, I don't want morphine. I'm okay on my Percocet. But do I want to go off my Percocet? It's kind of scary because I don't want to go through that again. So I'm right there with you when someone says, take this instead. It's scary. I know how it feels. However, there are oils that I wish I had known then that are going to ease the transition. So the first time that I had my oils, and my son I'd only had him for a little while. So my son had appendicitis, and of course I'm at the hospital. Well, I ran out of my Percocet, and I didn't have a car to get all the way back up to Lakewood to get my prescription. And I'm calling my husband, and I'm like, can you go to the pharmacy? It's there. You know, it was my pain contract day. It's not like I ran out early, like my prescription's sitting there. And he couldn't, so I had to go overnight without my Percocet. And I was freaking out, and so I did the pain bomb. And I did the frankincense, oregano, and lavender. And I waited. And I got through the night. And I woke up the next morning. And I wasn't feverish. I wasn't in extra pain. And I thought, oh my gosh. Okay, I made it. I'm not sick. You know, I went almost 24 hours and I didn't have the withdrawal symptoms. So I made it. I went and got my Percocet and I took one and everything. So I thought, okay, but I did okay. And I told somebody that. And she was also in pain medication. She thought, okay, then that's not that bad. So now when I don't take my Percocet, I have my LLV. I also know I can take some grapefruit. I can take some Zendocren. There's oils that will help you through the process. So it's very easy now for me to go without taking a Percocet for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and not have those feelings of withdrawal, not have those sickness, because the oils are helping my body to adjust. And I don't need the pain medication like I did because I have the oils to rely on, and they're helping my body. I'm detoxing through it, and it's easier on my system because nobody wants to detox without help. And what the doctors give me didn't help me get through it. The oils are helping my body naturally. So let me give you another story here. And this, I've heard from 3 people during this pain focus group that's happened to them too. So it's not just my story, it's happening to others. When Banana was 9 months old and I was in the hospital with renal failure, I was breastfeeding her. And I wasn't giving her the milk I was pumping in the hospital, but I didn't want to lose my milk. So I was pumping and dumping in the hospital. And I didn't even remember the story. Marla had to remind me of it. This is how bad it was. I completely blocked it out. So I was pumping and dumping in the hospital. Well, the nurse that I had one day was a very nasty woman. And she took it upon herself to, instead of relaying that I was pumping and dumping, she said that I was pumping and keeping the milk. And now remember, I'm in the hospital where I'm being pumped full of drugs and lots of heavy-duty painkillers. I think I'm on Demerol and, you know, all the big stuff. And all of a sudden, and at the time my husband was there with me, thank goodness I had backup, and I was attacked. Not physically, but I was attacked in the hospital bed. And I wasn't in my head all the way. You know, I remember I'm just laying there kind of in shock and crying, like, what's happening? But they came at me, and CPS is there, and they're talking about taking my kids, and what a horrible mom I am, and what a horrible person I am, and how dare I am feeding my child these drugs, and all this stuff. And I'm just kind of like, what? Huh? I don't even know what's going on. And my husband stood up and started yelling at them and was kicking them out of the room. And I wanted out of the hospital. I'm like, discharge me now. What's going on? And later that day, I got an apology from the hospital. And the nurse was taking off my care and everything. But, you know, that's the stuff we go through. We get attacked because they don't understand chronic pain. These people look at us like drug seeking. These, you know, they just want drugs. They just want this high. They don't know what it's like. So we're always looking for better ways. We don't want to live in this way. They don't understand that. They think we just want these drugs. We don't want these drugs. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live on pain medication. And to be honest, I can't remember the last time I even felt a high from my pain medication. It's not like that. You know how much I'd have to take of my pain medication to feel that anyway? Oh my gosh, it would probably be an overdose for me to get that feeling. So it's not what they think it is. But just know you're in a safe place. And I just want to thank the ones of you that have reached out and talked to me about this, that there's no judgment here. And I know completely what you're going through, and it sucks. And that's one thing I like about the oils, because, you know, it's such an awesome thing to be able to use what nature gave me to get me through something. I can't go to my doctor and say, hey, you know, I don't want to take my Percocet every day. Is there something that can help me out? Because then that's going to screw up my Medicaid. It's going to screw up my pain contract. Doctors judge you. They go through and I don't want to go through all that. I don't have to want to worry about the ACA. I don't want to worry about all this stuff. I don't worry about my UAs and what they say. Just let me take my own care of myself. Let me worry about empowering my own health decisions. And, you know, I know what my body needs, and let me worry about that, and just not worry about the judgment of other people. So if you are one of those people who is wanting help with your pain medication in terms of getting off of it more, or you're scared to get off your pain medication and you want to talk to somebody about maybe the oils that'll help you ease the transition, you know, maybe just going down on your pain medication. Maybe you want to go down from 4 tablets to 2, and you just want, you know, to know what oils are going to support you to do that. Send me a private message. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it, because, girl, I have been there. I'm still there. There's days that I'm like, I need some extra grapefruit. I need me some Zundacrine. I need this, because, you know, and then there's days that I'm like, I'm taking some extra Percocet today. So tomorrow I know I'm going to need some extra support with my oils. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and don't feel guilt, don't feel shame. There's so many emotions that go along with that, and you're in a place where other people are feeling the same thing, and we're all in this together, and you're in a safe place. So I hope you're having less pain today, and that the oils are helping you, and the deep blues kick it in. If you need anything, just let me know. So have a great rest of the day. Bye.